on this episode of The Bender Hour.
Yeah, but at least we're able to get that hysterical scene where Aang gets his ass beat within an inch of his life like twice.
At least we got to have that hilarious scene where Amon tells Korra she'll be doing plenty of bending.
Korra's a fucking skank, and Mako is just...
He's a fucking
Judas. He deserves to be chewed on by Satan for that move. I'm gonna go jack off in the fucking public bathroom. You sit here, stay away from that monster.
I'm gonna go cum shark a random woman outside.
I just popped a blood vessel with both my eyes.
You're gonna hump my ass for the rest of my life, aren't you? What have you done?
Oh no, it looks like we're both stuck in here.
Oh.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Can you believe this guy?
Reoccurring problem. Fucking clap. Maybe one day we won't have to. Maybe one day we won't have to do the clap anymore. Maybe we'll have like an interlinked cable that runs all the way from your house to mine with like a little red light that'll activate.
I think I should just get like we should just get a can with some string from my house to your house, and then I'll just put my microphone up to like the can when I talk. So anytime like you talk back into it, it just records it.
How far does like a can and string trick even like work?
I don't fucking know.
Something I might actually have to look up. So I know like it works for a decent amount of feet. But like what's the cutoff? How far can a piece of string carry a fucking sound wave? It's definitely gonna just be bullshit. Yeah, I've never seen it work outside of cartoons anyway.
Well, the first one that came up said it can work up to 100 feet.
That's honestly not too bad. It's still not gonna work for our connection. I think we're just gonna have to go with like the red light cable or maybe like a messenger pigeon. It's the quickest thing I can get to. So, okay, this is what I was gonna fucking say. Soda cans and energy drink cans. Why are energy drink cans, like, specifically, like, a can taller than regular soda cans?
And like thinner?
Yeah. Like, why is that just, like, a unanimous thing?
Maybe a can has to be wider for the carbonation to be better.
I don't know. It's because when I think about it, energy drinks just fucking suck.
Yes.
So the idea that like they market more of it to you is like a little insulting.
Well, the fact that it's taller but also skinnier means it's probably like almost the same amount of drink.
Yeah, but it's not too much skinnier. Like you're definitely getting more than a regular soda can. I know it's because I like saw a vending machine not too long ago that had them like kind of lined up. It's definitely more than your average soda. And I just can't imagine like drinking that much fucking energy drink. I mean, I can hardly imagine drinking in general.
I can't imagine drinking them in general.
It's because like maybe like once a year I'll see some new stupid energy drink flavor and I figure, just for the shits, I'm gonna try it. And it's like the worst mistake of the week. It's like it tasted alright, but it just has that awful bubbling sensation that just, gives you the worst type of energy possible. And now you just realize, well shit, this isn't something I could finish in like 2 big swigs like a soda can. Like you gotta kind of like dedicate to finishing this or like dumping it out. Because it's so fucking big.
Honestly, if you want a decent energy drink, maybe I should wait till we get sponsored before I give a shout out. But that's never gonna happen anyway. There's an energy drink called Alani, Alani. That energy drink company is actually pretty good, but that's because they don't put like the shitty chemicals that give you fucking kidney stones. It's mainly like B vitamins and shit like that give you like a natural energy boost.
It's like coca leaves.
Yeah. Straight cocaine powder.
You know,
But yeah, Alani is pretty good. I used to drink that sometimes.
wonder how those original like Coca-Colas tasted. With the actual like leaves in them.
Probably pretty good. Considering, it was fucking like addictive.
How come they banned that?
I wonder why.
And
I wonder why they
else...
banned diet pills. I mean, they work, they make people skinnier. I wonder why they banned them.
It's just, just thinking about it, it's like when it comes down to addiction, like addiction just it's a money thing. And I can understand you don't want to give somebody cocaine because now they're going to become addicted and like aggressive. But are you going to get that exact same outcome from just like coca leaves dissolved into soda? Wouldn't it just act as kind of like a regular stimulant?
Similar. I mean, I think Dr. Pepper himself was like a fucking junkie.
That's also why all those men were like geniuses.
Going back to the soda can thing real quick, though. A question that I've actually had about soda cans for a while now. How is there more liquid in the can than there actually, like, could fill the can? You ever notice that? Like, I have cups in my house where, like, I could fit an entire soda can into it. But if I open the can and pour it out, it'll fill the cup up to the brim. Like, how does soda do that?
I'm gonna guess it's just like the optical illusion of the fact that usually most cups are thinner at the base and get wider at the top, whereas the can is like uniform the whole size, so it's kind of like deceptive. It makes it look like there's slightly less than there should be, I guess.
That still doesn't make sense because the entire can fits in the fucking cup. It's tapered, but the can itself fits in the cup.
That's true, but you're also going to have that effect, like of any carbonated drink, where if you pour it into a cup, it's going to fucking foam up quite a lot, and then it's going to settle down way more after, like, a couple minutes.
Yeah, but then I wait for the foam and I pour the rest in, and it goes to the fucking brim. I'm telling you, like, I've witnessed this multiple times.
I think you're just straight describing, like, an impossibility.
I've seen it happen.
like Newton's laws of, like... are being completely blown apart by that revelation. Like, that just can't exist. That's got to be some kind of optical illusion. If you,
there's no way you've never seen that.
How you're describing it, I don't know, because I typically just drink out of the fucking can. I don't usually pour it into like a cup. Like if it's like maybe like a big like fucking liter thing of soda, yeah, I'll pour it into a cup. Obviously, I'm not gonna be like a fat hog that drinks out of a fucking liter bottle. But I can't remember the last time I've poured a can into a cup, so I would not know. But if this is like something you could repeat, like next time you get a can of soda, I'd love to see this in action. I don't really drink
soda anymore, so it might be a while till I like fucking try that again.
So that would pretty much blow the doors to physics wide open. It's just gotta be something wrong. It's like a fucking magician's trick. More inside than it's like bottomless pit from like D&D. Can't do that.
Go back to fucking drinking that liter. I have no, like, how do people do that?
Fucking disgusting.
Drink like a full 2-liter bottle a day. Because I'm not gonna lie, I had this thing once where a doctor legitimately had me drink 3 2-liter bottles, 2-liter bottles, 3 2-liter bottles of Coke in one day.
The doctor had you do this?
Yes.
For what purpose?
I had a fucking, because like I think I talked about how I had like stomach problems before.
Yes.
And I had to go, I went and got a endoscopy for it. And the night before, like before the 12, because you're not supposed to eat anything for 12 hours before. So before that 12-hour mark, the night before, I had a salad for dinner. And then I went in, I had the endoscopy done. And when I came to, there was like the doctor was pissed off at me because there was still like lettuce in my stomach, undigested lettuce. And so I told the doctor, like, it's been over 12 hours since I've had that. Like, how is that shit still there? And the doctor told me that in order to, like, that the best way to clean out my stomach, to get it out, was to drink 3 2-liter bottles of Coke in 24 hours.
It's like so excessive.
That was legitimately one of the worst experiences of my entire life. Having to drink that much fucking Coca-Cola in one day. It was so bad. And I can't imagine, even with just drinking 1 liter or 1 2-liter bottle of Coke was like horrible. And I can't imagine how people can do that every single fucking day.
Guy got his doctorates in a fucking cereal box. I can't imagine telling a patient to do that.
I mean, if fucking, like, you know, like the Coke rooms for naval anchors.
Yeah, like, burn off the rust. I mean, like I said, it's...
Yeah, like, clearing out the fucking, like, breaking down the shit in my stomach, I guess.
It just seems so excessive. Like, there really wasn't, like, one single over-the-counter pill that could have done that. Like nothing that you just had to
get over-the-counter pill that makes you produce more stomach acid.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
that doesn't exist.
There has to be something that could like aid in the breaking down of like shit in your stomach more. That isn't 3 fucking liters or whatever the hell it was of soda. And you know, when it comes down to those fucking liter bottles, I think they objectively taste worse than cans.
Yeah, it's also just a problem too that like. They go flat a lot quicker. Like, usually you open it once, and then by the next day, it's, like, flat completely.
Also, they're
just ass.
And it's also really strange. I guess this is, like, a really stupid thing to complain about, but might as well. They are they have very bizarre, and I would say bad ergonomics.
Yeah, I guess they're just huge tubes.
They're just huge fat tubes, and there's no human on Earth that's, like, normal who could, you know, comfortably grip one of those things with one hand. You're always going to be
Bottles
afraid.
Made exclusively for Andre the Giant.
Yeah, like that thing's, it's like so stupid, and especially nowadays where there's been a lot of redesigns with bottles to make them more ergonomic. And God, I don't know how that's like one thing that's survived all this time. But yeah, just people that like drink that shit. I mean, they're already gonna be like fat fucks who are completely stuck in a mobility scooter anyway, that are still gonna miraculously live past like 60, which is always
thanks to modern medicine.
Which is always just the sad part.
I'm gonna have a foot amputated.
Fucking foot amputated. You're like 450 pounds. You're in a fucking mobility scooter, and like. You know, you're just like, become one of those fucking people who's like bedridden, and you have like a disgusting moment where like, I don't know, your fat permeates through like the innermost layer of your skin. So you have like a massive fucking like pocket that builds up in your legs, and now you're just like dead. It's just, I can't imagine.
Just grabbing the whale. That Brendan Fraser movie.
Fat people who,
like that,
who want to be fat. They just gotta go.
Those 2 like YouTubers, like the Southern girls, where they were like so fat that they had
like fat on their
built up in their forehead.
Yeah, that's insane.
That shit's insane.
Like that facial structure would have to be just 110% unrecognizable to how they were like as like a teenager.
Yeah.
I can't imagine getting like fat in your fucking like head of all places. Like I understand your cheek, because like naturally if you're gonna get like that bloated, you know, it's gonna go to your neck, it's gonna go to like your, you know, it's gonna make your cheeks look bigger, but it can't go to your forehead.
Yeah. I refuse to believe that there's like fat cells in your forehead. But apparently she's just like specially adapted to this lifestyle.
And you know, just the thought of, you know, Because if they're not taking care of themselves in that way, then you know they're probably not brushing their teeth. They obviously can't like bathe the same way.
I mean, especially if you're drinking soda all the time, because soda in itself is corrosive, so it's gonna break down your teeth even quicker.
It's just the idea that every day you wake up smelling like shit, your breath tastes and smells like shit, everything in your house just smells fake and like shit. And
That's the thing, like, when you live like that for so long, like, you do get used to it.
Yeah, and that's
so they don't even know how bad they smell.
I know. It's the same way with, like, you know, fucking hoarders or, like, those, you know, sick people that keep, like, 1 million cats in their house and, like, half of them are fucking dead under the bed somewhere. There's no saving those people. They don't know any better. Hasn't that been a running theme of us for a couple episodes now? Just, like, shitting on the dregs of society?
Yeah, just shitting on people.
I don't care. These are people that deserve it. There's no sympathy for them. Zero. And, you know, like, if those people were, like, lucky enough to actually turn their lives around, you know they have zero sympathy for, like, how they used to be anyway.
Yeah.
So, fuck them. Although, granted, it'll always be infinitely funnier to they just completely fucking shit on people who aren't even necessarily, like, bad, but they're just, like, stupid. And they need, like, just, like, unwarranted aggression because they did something, like, it was, like, really dumb. Like the Baragon sweat creep.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame I don't, like, have any other people on his wavelength.
On his level.
Yeah, that I could bring up on a drop of a hat. I really hope that guy reaches out one day. He has no idea what that would do to the channel.
I really hope he gets his comeuppance one day.
His comeuppance. Oh, what would you think his comeuppance should be?
Being locked in a room with us.
Locked in a room with us. You're gonna have him in a fucking, like, in a chamber with one swinging lamp above his head while we, like, interrogate him.
It's like the fucking Dai Li interrogation room.
I'm gonna have a tape recorder and play back the exact sentences he said and just see and watch his face. I think that's all we need to know.
What prompted you to say this? I think we already, like, talked about that.
I don't know.
What his reasoning for it was.
In a way, I guess you don't need reasoning to be a creep. It can just come natural.
To be a fucking freak.
Yeah. And hey, I mean, look at him. He runs a channel more successful than ours.
Granted, he's been at it for longer than us.
That's true. That is true.
We'll catch up.
We'll catch up, and then once we have, like, a video that's got 100,000 views, then we'll start creeping.
Yeah, we'll instantly. No, I'm not saying that. Never mind.
Let's see who's gonna be the creep target. Who's gonna be the celebrity that's gonna be the source of our creeps? Because the Baragon actress, you know, that was a very bold choice.
She's used goods at this point.
She's completely used goods. I mean, you brought up the Dai Li, I mean, Azula, but she's also used goods in both real life and in the show, so. And you know exactly
she's
what I'm
also
talking about.
14 in the show.
Anyway, like I was saying. Yeah, that one guy kissed her, so she's used goods.
What about the actress for Quiet? Whatever her name is.
Doesn't she just, like, look exactly like Quiet?
Yeah, they literally just, like, fucking 3D scanned her face into the game.
You think she can talk in real life, or you think she's, like, also like still, like, mute?
We'll catch her and have her vocal cords removed so she can't talk.
Go up and punch her in the gut, and she goes like ow, and then she dies. It's not even creeping. It just, that was like a targeted attack. Great, the Quiet actor. But I think the thing that makes the Baragon sweat creep so infamous well, maybe at least for us, it's just that it was such a like if I were to analyze that exact type of creep, he went like it's sure you got a woman taking on a role of a monster, that's cool, whatever, but it was specifically targeting her sweat,
And the pheromones. He specifically says pheromones.
And that voice he puts on is just so fucking damning. Like,
he is so sweaty.
So sweaty. Like that alone should earn him 2 black eyes. So that's what it's got to be. You got to pick a creep target, and then you have to like really one up that. Like you can't go after feet because that's been done to death. It's got to be something worse. It's got to be like saliva or like her fucking knees.
Knees.
Yeah.
Or
maybe like her hands. Like you're fixated on her fucking hands. And then we'll pit our 2 creeps up against one another in like a kaiju battle. Oh, ow! I don't know if you heard that. I just like popped something on my arm. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Serves you right for trying to fucking stretch. But bringing up the Daily, how have we gone this far without, really delving into like anything Avatar related?
Because it's a bad omen.
I know what you mean. But I think we're strong enough to work around the omen. If you're willing to, I'm willing to work around the omen.
I'm willing to try.
Worst comes to worst.
It's also hard to come up with new stuff for Avatar because we've done so much with it already.
But that's us like off-bender.
Yeah.
I think if there's gonna be people, listening from the outside, they deserve to know. Even if we have to repeat like ourselves shit that like we've heard. But fuck, where to even begin? I mean, if I was just like simplify the whole thing, like Last Airbender was a great fucking show. Very few things that I can even really like shake 2 shits at. And it had very good pacing, very little filler.
It's legitimately one of the best animated shows ever made, and most people agree with that statement.
Yes. Most everything was done right, and like I said, there's only a couple of things I can even like think of off the top of my head that I would have personally have changed, like I didn't like. I'd say the one reoccurring theme, which is just the nature of a kid's show, you're not gonna like change this. It's just the fact that this is the whole thing about it's been 100 years war in the show, so all these nations have been at war for 100 fucking years, and you're expecting me to believe that like all these hardened military veterans on the front lines get their asses beat like nonstop to fucking kids? That is just like not happening. Katara like just started training like only like a couple months by the end of the show, and she was a master. Like you're telling me all these kids were fucking prodigies? Like that's how like Aang was quite literally a prodigy. They mentioned that.
He's also the fucking Avatar,
yeah.
So it makes sense that he has like the strength to take on hardened warriors.
Yeah, like that's his whole thing. Like they mentioned that he was at the time the youngest airbender to achieve like mastery. And then you got Katara, who is like, she's like shit at waterbending in the beginning, but within a span of like actually I don't really remember how long the show takes. I think it's about a year. Like she becomes a master, like on par with like the rest of the fucking waterbending masters on the show who are like 80 and have been doing it their whole lives. She like beats them, except for Paku, because sexism wins. I mean, Sokka goes from a fucking dweeb to like a hardened warrior who's like taking out royal guards by the end of it. And Toph's the only other one that I can like kind of understand because, their disability makes her like naturally gifted. But still, like, what are the odds? Like this team of exceptional fucking people. And Zuko and Azul are like on the same boat too. Like they're fucking crazy. Zuko's like this 14-year-old kid, and he beats the shit out of Zhou, who they claim they claim is a master. And, they say, remember the last time you dueled the master? Yeah, and he lost to his dad. Is that trying to imply that if he didn't pussy out and cry, groveling at his feet, that he could have beat the shit out of Ozai?
I doubt it.
Who knows?
But he also, like, didn't take his training seriously at that point. But also this, like, really raised questions with, like, how he beat Zhou, considering that even, like, Iroh is telling him, like, you haven't, like, trained enough yet.
Yeah, like, an episode prior, he was telling Zuko that he hadn't even mastered the basics. And he took out a master? Oh, because he told him to break his root, which is, like, pretty much the most basic thing possible in practically any martial art. Like, level changing and breaking, like, their fucking stance.
Tell him to break his root so that way you can have Zuko do the same animation 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
I think that I wouldn't notice that.
I mean, wasn't it supposed to kind of be like a replay?
No, it's legitimate because Zhao has a different reaction every time.
I guess when I'm trying to remember it, I was always thinking it was like a replay and it was showing it from different angles. I don't remember if that's how it went.
No, it literally shows Zuko do the same thing from the same angle 3 times.
Got him with the same move. I mean, Zhao...
It's 3 times in a row, too. Like, it's, like, back to back.
I guess when it comes down to it, I always have, like, a spot for Zhao. Like, I think he was a good villain. It's just he was an awful fucking bender. He got his ass handed to him soundly in every actual battle he was in. But, he was getting shit done for the most part, like, up until then. And even despite every failure, he just kept getting promotion after promotion. This actually might be a good time to bring up something really stupid. Let me see if I have this written down somewhere. Zhao's rank. I've talked about this with you, haven't I? The problems with like Zhao's rank.
How many times have we done the fucking joke before?
Well, yeah, but I think the first time you see Zhao, they say, fuck, how does he, like, what does he correct them with? What was the first one he says? Oh, God.
I don't know, I only remember, like, it's Admiral now.
Yeah, but that's, like, the second time he does that. There was that first time when they meet him, like, at a stupid harbor, where, like, he claims that he'd already been fucking promoted. Oh, God. Okay, now I gotta, like, speed look this up. Zhao. But basically, the whole idea I'm getting at is the fucking people in charge of, like, making this show, they definitely did not do their homework for how military ranks work. Because they inevitably... that's not the right word. They inadvertently made Zhao get demoted. Like something. Like, they definitely, like, fucked something up. Yeah, he went from lieutenant to captain to commander and then admiral. And I'm pretty sure that it is the other way around. Like, I think commander is supposed to be higher than captain. Or no, the other way around. Like, captain's supposed to be higher than commander. Which would imply that he got demoted at some point.
And then he skipped 2 spaces to get to captain.
Yeah.
This is an alternate universe, so it's commander now.
Yeah, because they're
we
like...
have different rankings here.
Because Zuko, he says, like, Captain Zhao, it's commander now. And why is he so smug about saying that if that's a rank lower? So that was something that my brother and I tried to, like, speculate. Like, what the fuck did Zhao possibly do that could have gotten him demoted? And I think the only thing I could think of is that he went AWOL when he went into the desert to find the library. And that's what got him demoted.
What episode is it when he says that?
When he says, like, it's fucking captain
it's
now?
It's commander now, yeah. No.
Oh, commander now.
That's commander.
That's in the first time you meet him at, like, the island, at that little, like, harbor he's at, and they have, like, the Agni Kai battle. Because he was a lieutenant.
Granted, we don't know when the library thing happened.
That's true.
That could have been before his military career.
No, he was a lieutenant then. He actually said that to Iroh. So he was a lieutenant when he found the library. And then at some point...
He became a captain. And then at some point he was demoted to commander.
Which I'm gonna assume was like something that was retroactively done to punish him when they discovered that he went AWOL, because he was a fucking Navy man who went as inland as possible, like into the desert by himself, because there was no one else in that flashback. And then apparently, despite several fuck-ups, the Fire Lord saw fit to make him admiral, which, to be fair, that could have been something that like was in the works, because you know bureaucracy takes a while, and I'm sure a messenger hawk takes a while to get to him. Unless it's like our messenger hawks that arrive like in a second. It like keeps like promoting him to fucking Phoenix King. And there was one other theory that we came up with, and that was that he was originally in the army, like the Fire Nation army, but he transferred branches into the Navy, which is the only way that that ranking structure could work without him being demoted. And that would actually kind of make sense if he was like stationed somewhere near the desert and then he like went Navy. But I still find it way funnier to think that he was fucking demoted and then ranked up to admiral. I can't imagine like what this guy did to get so in touch with the Fire Lord that not only he'd get made into an admiral, but he would get front row seats to Zuko's banishment in the Agni Kai round next to Azula.
Before he even got his promotion. Because remember, that's like, what, like 2 or 3 years before the show?
Yeah. And
so really, shouldn't that be like when he was in the desert?
I don't know. That must have happened even sooner. But that would imply that he was like a captain at least. What was like a captain doing up there next to Azula? Like, shouldn't it have been like royal guards next to her? What did Zhou have to do to get front row seats?
And why do you have a big fucking smile on his face?
Like,
what was his problem with Zuko before the hunt for the Avatar started?
Like, what right did he have? That is, unless you do believe in the theory that Zhou was going to be the arranged marriage for Azula.
Oh, you mean our theory?
Shit, I can't talk about that. Because if that's the case,
that it's like talked about.
because if that's the case, then he would have a reason to be like happy about it. Because then with
it's
Zuko,
Fire Lord now.
yeah, because then with Zuko out of the picture, he could be a Fire Lord. Man, Zhou was like too dangerous for the Avatar world. It's like no wonder they fucking killed him off a combustion, man.
Oh, Admiral Zhou. Actually, Iroh, your brother just passed away. It's Fire Lord now.
What? Wait, okay, that's even more fucked up. If that's happening, so that's like before, like, so like Azulon just died. And then, like Ozai dies. Fucking, how old is,
Are you
like...
trying to say that, like, Zhao isn't such a deviant bastard that he wouldn't, like, try to have the Fire Lord assassinated?
Well, yeah, it's just that his only way to get into the royal family would be, like, if he fucking married Azula. But at that age, he was still gonna be, like, fucking, like, 6. He's going even younger.
This is when he was admiral. This is when, like, Iroh was, like, on the boat with him.
Oh. I mean... There's on the boat with him. So, like, what, he like just like secretly got betrothed to fucking Azula during that time?
Yeah.
What a monster. He's like, by the way, I'll be expecting you at my wedding. What? And at your brother's late funeral. What? Crazy. Like, imagine that. Instead of using, like, those 150 fucking Fire Nation ships for the failed attack in the north, he sends them all back to the capital and performs, like, a naval coup and kills Ozai.
Imagine if ever, like, instead of sending troops on the ground to the North Pole, why didn't you just have the boats stay back and just continue to fire artillery for, like, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Just completely level the North Pole.
well, that's what happens when you fucking just rank him up arbitrarily to Admiral when he clearly didn't earn it. It's like 150 ships. They launched one salvo just to, like, get a fucking beachhead, and then they stop. Like, their home, like, the whole point, like, was he really planning on, like, capturing the North?
Apparently. I guess that was the point, to, like, wipe out the waterbenders.
Yeah. I guess the only reason I could see and why he didn't just, like, have the place be bombed, like, for weeks is because he wanted to personally kill the moon spirit. And I guess he didn't want to, like, have it killed.
Zhou, the Moon Slayer.
But yeah, imagine that. Like, his ships keep firing, and then eventually, like, the moon disappears. And then the fucking
Like,
ocean
one of the
disappears.
One of the fucking cannonballs hits the pond.
That's right. The moon and all water vanish. Oh, man. And then, like, Aang would be so fucked. Who's he gonna interface with to, like, save that situation? Because Yue, assuming she's alive, I mean, I guess she would be, you know, she's with the main cast, she's gonna have, like, fucking plot armor. She can only choose to save one of them. And it would have to be the moon spirit.
But she only has the spirit of the moon in her. She doesn't have the ocean spirit as well.
Yeah. And I guess that would just be the oceans, wouldn't it? Like, would rivers and, like, ponds and lakes be affected?
It's really, like, unsure.
That would still be a massive fucking blow. And also, here's another question. Does, like, all the ice at the poles count as the ocean, too?
It's, like, impossible to say.
Everything in that area just disappears. I mean, we know one thing. If the ocean disappeared, most of that shit would just collapse. You'd have 100 of these ships stranded.
Yeah, because it's a giant iceberg, so it's pointed at the bottom, so it just, like, fucking tip over.
It tips over, you get 100 of the warships that all just completely just free in several hundred feet, if not, like, miles. I don't know how deep that area is. And then there's, like, anyone who survived just dies, because there's... That's like
they'll walk across, like, this, like, salt flats to try to, like, get home to the Fire Nation.
Fucking salt flats. The world would be so over. Aang would have to, like, go into the spirit world and try to find a replacement. Like, there's no way you could just leave the world without oceans. That'd be like an ecological nightmare. And also that lion turtle would die preemptively.
Pretty much every lion turtle would, wouldn't they? Because there's probably still more of them.
I actually think that was implied to be the last one alive.
How do they die? Aren't they, like, spiritual beings?
I don't know. You fucking blame Korra for
They can,
like,
you
that
know,
shit.
according to Korra, they can give people the ability to bend, so they have to be, like, some sort of spiritual essence. How the fuck can they die?
Well, it's not that they're like actual spirits. It's just that they are spiritual and they energy bend, which technically, that's actually one thing I want to know is if anybody is capable of energy bending, like even non-benders, because that's just like the energy within people's bodies, and that's something that's not necessarily tied to any one person. I think.
I mean, you know, it would have been cool if that was what Amon was the whole time, if he was actually just an energy bender.
Yeah.
But, you know, they had to ruin... Not only did they have to ruin the prospect of that, but they also had to ruin bloodbending completely.
Yeah, but, you know, at least we're able to get that hysterical scene where Aang gets his ass beat within an inch of his life, like, twice. Before he has, like, his last hurrah against fucking whatever his name was.
At least we got to have that hilarious scene where Amon tells Korra she'll be doing plenty of bending.
Yeah. You know, one of those, like, final things where they have to, like, pull it from Nickelodeon and only show it online.
Yeah.
You know, imagine that. An actual good villain who, you know, he's not a waterbender. He's just a regular non-bender who learned how to take bending away. genuine threat. You know, he's not a lying piece of shit. Makes you think like, oh, you know, was he right or not? But, you know,
Yeah,
what a
remember when
shitty
he
show.
took Korra's bending away, but somehow didn't take her bending away? Remember
Yeah.
how cool that was?
Yeah, because
Remember how that made no fucking sense at all?
like, I guess like the chakras that he blocked with blood only affected 3 out of the 4 bending arts.
It makes no fucking sense.
Remember how she just decided to, like, her motion somehow just airbended? It's like just not how that worked. That was a complete fucking ass pull.
Remember how Aang somehow gave her bending back despite, you know, not being a fucking physical being that could actually energy bend to begin with?
Yeah. Like, I don't think that never happened on Last Airbender. I don't think there was ever a case where Aang was, like, physical and a spirit physically, like, did something to him.
And not to mention, Aang was never a fucking bloodbender, so if he... Because it wouldn't have even been energy bending, it would have had to be blood bending to undo it.
Yeah, that was a completely physical thing that happened within her body. So energy bending wouldn't have done anything. Unless it's to say the energy, like, unblocked her chakra, and in which case that's just as much of an ass pull.
Should have had to go to the fucking air temple and eat Guru Patik's, like, poop and banana fucking soup to, like, get her bending back.
Yeah, should have found his fucking mummified remains and eaten his brains out. No, book 1 should have ended as the way, like, you know, it was going to had Aang not showed up, with her fucking killing herself, jumping off the cliff at the South Pole. Which is what they were heavily, like, implying with that part.
I mean, as far as I know, the original intention was for Amon to be the villain throughout the entire series. But Nickelodeon wouldn't give them, like, a multiple season show, so they had to make it into one. And then after that, Nickelodeon actually gave them, like, more seasons to work with. Which is part of the reason that fucking season sucks so bad, was because they rushed everything. But
where did that get us?
it probably still would have sucked ass anyway, considering how the rest of Korra sucked fucking balls.
Yeah. He took what was given to him and they just ran headlong to disaster every single book. 4 books and they were all shit.
Because it's made by the same people who made Last Airbender. So I don't know how they, like, fucked over their own IP so bad.
I guess they're just like, there just weren't enough of those old heads to make it work.
Or Last Airbender was just a complete fluke.
It was 100% fluke, which I would find a little hard to believe, because
it's so well put together.
Yeah, it's so well put together. It's so well paced. There's only like 2 episodes in the entire thing that are even like universally not liked, and that's it. So, I can't believe the fluke.
Flying.
Yeah, there's that one, and there's the Painted Lady episode, which is also agreed to be like 100% just filler. Adds nothing to the fucking story.
Yeah.
It also just makes no sense. Because the whole point of like that episode, they keep talking about like a schedule they gotta keep, and then they just dick off every episode after that up until the fucking like the comet. So there's no point to the schedule. I'm trying to remember what else, like, I mean, there's a million fucking things I could shit on about Korra about all day and make this a 3-hour bender.
Could only shit on the first 2 seasons, because that's all I ever watched.
Well, that's why you have me. And I hardly remember the rest of them. Because book 2 was the Water Tribe Civil War. You know, okay, that's an alright concept. Or whatever.
Oh wait, that was part. I completely fucking forgot that was even a part of book 2.
Hey, like them apples.
I only remember the stupid fucking like rug shit.
Yeah.
And also wasn't Avatar Juan in that too? That was book 2, right?
Oh god.
Yeah, because
yes,
that's when they explained the fucking rug.
Yes, the fucking rugs. Yeah, so Water Tribe Civil Wars, and you know, that's like a cool idea on paper. Yeah, like the Southern Water Tribe and the North, you know.
You got Bolwyn trying to slam that femboy.
Yeah, like the weird fucking like
Like the Northern Tribe, Prince and Princess.
Yeah, those two doofuses. There's just like one thing I just couldn't I can never forgive, and that was the mecha tanks. The stupid things they introduced in book 1. The giant diver bell machines on tank treads that were made completely out of like platinum that like the Equalist used.
So they couldn't be metal bended because it's too pure.
Yeah. The soft rare earth material that they had enough of to make these stupid fucking machines that were like 20 feet tall. And they were like so dumb. I just couldn't like, I hated every time I saw one of them. Took me like 100% out of the experience. Like,
I think when Bull Lin walked up on Mako and Korra kissing in like season 1, he should have just used the Long Fang move that he uses on Jet. He should have just taken out both of them.
Their brains out.
Yeah.
That is what they deserve, 200%.
Yeah.
Korra's a fucking skank, and Mako is just...
He's a fucking
Judas. He deserves to be chewed on by Satan for that move.
Yeah. I would still stand by that Bolin was the only like good thing that came out of that show.
Yeah.
So at least for the first 2 seasons, he was like a good character.
I did kind of like Tenzin, and that was about it. I was not really a big fan of like Tenzin's family, like brother and sister. And his kids are like all like they were all right, I guess. They were all like kind of different for the most part.
When Aang named one of his kids Boomy, and it just so happens that kid acts exactly like Boomy.
Yeah, isn't that fucking crazy? And then, you know, Kaya, who no one fucking cares about, because she's like, even in the books where like she's relevant, she's not. I did not care about her. Boomy was the only one that was actually like doing anything, so he was the only relative that was gonna keep your attention.
And Boomy is based just because he gets to like cuck Aang. You know, like the whole time Aang's trying to get more airbenders, and he just has like the pure unluck of having a non-bender kid.
Yeah.
2 of the most powerful benders of the time have a non-bender child.
That's true. And then, like, what happens? Like, they all keep making references that Aang was, like, kind of like a shitty father because he focused all of his time on Tenzin and not on his 2 other kids. And, like, they kind of, like, resent Tenzin for that. But then, like, Boomy just becomes an airbender anyway. He becomes, like, a pretty good one, too.
Makes, like, no sense.
One of the best ass pulls of the entire show that's just gonna fucking doom everything. You know, because even just, like, talking about that, like that's their explanation, you know? We only got, like, you know, like 5 airbenders here or whatever. So there's no way we can repopulate the air nomads without, you know, either some serious dedication or serious inbreeding. So, like, oh, what we'll do? We'll just take, like, 100 fucking earthbender people, like Earth Kingdom citizens, and make them airbenders. And I always found that weird, like, how they were only Earth Kingdom people. Like, you think it would have pulled some non-benders from, like, the Fire Nation, maybe, like, Water Tribes or something. But no, they're all Earth Kingdom. And none of these people have any attachment to the fucking culture and history.
And I really like, it doesn't make any fucking... Like, it shouldn't have happened in the first place, because it would have just kept the world more interesting. Of having, you know, like, this, like, endangered species of benders, essentially.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, crawl back, but...
Because all they did
now
was
there's just more of them for no reason.
Because now, like, you know, they're slightly less endangered, but now it makes less sense. Like, there's no way these people are ever going to be able to recover the culture in that same way. Like, at least in Tenzin, in his family's case, Tenzin was quite literally raised from birth in, like, how to maintain airbender culture, and Tenzin did the same thing to his kids. But these people are all, like, in their 20s. And they're only, like, learning about it secondhand from Tenzin. How the fuck are they supposed to teach that to their kids?
Like, the whole thing, too, is that, like, the spirits did it to, like, bring the balance back or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, why did they take 100 years to do that?
Because it was the harmonic convergence, Peyton. It
yeah,
only
but that
happens
already
every 1,000 years.
happened. When do the Airbenders show up? Is that book 3 or is that book 4? Isn't it book 4?
It's book 3.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
And it did happen after harmonic convergence. Like, they discover it happened. Because book 2 ends with the harmonic convergence. And then they discover the Airbenders at, like, the beginning of book 3. So that was the case. Turns out if you just, all they have to do is just wait another, like, 70 years, and all their problems would be fucking corrected. Because it turns out 2 carpets need to fight each other on a giant fucking, what's the fucking name? Like a yin and yang sign in the spirit world to determine the fate of the universe.
And a giant Korra has to fight a giant shadow Korra.
Yeah, evil avatar.
Forget about that.
I did not forget. I just wanted to, like, hide it.
Yeah.
Public City
And
got
like,
so
how come,
fucked
like,
up.
yeah, how come, Aang couldn't convene with Avatar Wan and learn about harmonic convergence and know that, like, everything was gonna be fixed anyway?
Yeah. He honestly did not, for someone so spiritual, for someone who got a hand on, like, actually accessing the spirit world pretty good by the end of the show, Aang really did not utilize his spiritual state that well. He went back to Avatar Yang Chen and Kuruk, and that was it. And he had fucking hundreds more he could have talked with. But he didn't.
When you talk to, like, 5 of them and they all tell you the same exact thing,
I mean, I guess that's a little disheartening.
considering that, like, like, they all probably, like, talk to each other all the time, because what else do they have to do in the fucking spirit world?
That's true, but
It's pretty safe to assume that the rest of them are gonna, like, give you the same answer.
That's true, but you'd think there'd at least be, like, you'd be resourceful enough to think, like, I mean, well, these guys were all, like, in the past, like, 200 years. What if I went back even farther? And then he ends up talking to, like, Wan or, Tu or whoever. Maybe would have learned something different. He would have said, like... Yeah, the ironic part is, if he actually talked to Wan, he probably would have said, like, dude, this is a fucking lion turtle. Just talk to it. He would have been the only one who knew what was happening.
Something that I just realized, too, is that this couldn't have been the first harmonic convergence since Wan, right?
I guess not.
Because it's every 1,000 years.
So
that means that there would only be, like, maybe 7 avatars between them. Because Kyoshi lived for fucking 300 years on her own. So that's only 700 more years to work with. Was it only every 1,000 years, or was it every 10,000?
Oh, boy.
It had to be 10,000, right? There's no way it was 1,000.
Okay, it was every 10,000 years.
Okay.
Damn. And apparently, I guess the one in Wan's time was in 19,829 before genocide. Hey, like them apples. Fucking so far away. It's been that long. Like, there's been at least 20,000 years of human development with, like, state societies, and they haven't improved. Because in Wan's time, things were almost identical to how they were in, like, the modern day, outside of just, like, no, like, machines. And when I say modern day, I mean, like, modern day for, like, Last Airbender. There had literally been, like, no developments in technology that improved anything for 20,000 years. Like, that is some Elder Scrolls shit. But we know that they're capable of, like, advancing. They had an industrial revolution. Like, can you imagine if, like, that happened in, like, human history? Like, 20,000 years? Like, let's say, like, fucking Mesopotamia was, like, 20,000 years old. Fucking nuts. We would have been so much farther ahead. And that's all just book 2. Book 3 was all the stupid Red Lotus. And that was all just...
I never watched that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just as fucking worthless as book 2. Once again, just... Korra gets her ass beat. They visit Ba Sing Se again, like, oh, look, everything's the same. Even the fucking royal guards are in the same outfit. Oh, like the Daili is here, and they're still dickheads. They haven't changed. Aang didn't like do anything to make these guys like less of dickheads. It's like, oh
I
look,
can't believe it's actually called the Dark Avatar.
yeah.
I
Think of anything
just
else.
like looked this shit up. That's so fucking stupid.
Like, oh, let's show off Bolin's side of the family, who are gonna have no bearing on the fucking season at all. But just introduce these 50 characters, are kind of almost there as like a joke. And then the Red Lotus. I don't even remember if they brought up like how they came to be like in the show, or if it was like off show. It was like so fucking worthless. I'll never even know. Just like, oh, you know, we were part of like the White Lotus, but they were way too stupid. So now we're the Red Lotus. That means like anarchy. It's like, oh, so what are you gonna do? We're gonna assassinate the Earth Queen and then I guess kill the Avatar? Oh, crazy. These guys who claim to be like spiritual, you know, he's like spiritual terrorists that want to just like dismantle the government. But you want to fucking they don't just want to kill the Avatar. They want to end the Avatar cycle because that's like oppressive, even though it's supposed to be the balance of fucking like everything. Dumb shits. I'm glad they got like blown up.
Like how it says here on the Avatar fandom that Dark Avatar aimed to reunite the physical and spiritual realms. And, you know, fails in that, but isn't that what ends up happening anyway?
Yeah. Every single thing that Korra tried to prevent ended up happening in some way, except for the Equalist Rebellion. That was it. Like, Dark Avatar happens, the fucking spirit world becomes merged with the human world. You know, Red Lotus are like, we need to dismantle the government. And then what happens? They get defeated, and then the fucking Earth Kingdom dismantles, like, its authoritarian rule and becomes democratic. Just so awful. And I need to take a moment to talk about how fucked up Republic City gets over the course of the show. There's one point, I think in like either book 3 or 4, where the president of Republic City just says like just pretty much evicts Korra from the city, completely exiles her because she's been a net fucking drain and has brought nothing but disaster. Because, you know, book 1, you got the, you know, Equalist Rebellion. They completely decimate the Republic's navy, just sink it with biplanes and mines. And on top of that, there's like explosions and shit. They completely like fuck up Air Temple Island. That gets put down. Book 2, the Dark Avatar just once again fucks over the entire Republic navy. Has a spirit battle in the middle of Republic City. That goes away. And then in book 3, like the spirit vines open up in the middle of Republic City. So there's this massive fucking spirit jungle that's like completely destroyed downtown. People are getting captured, brought into the spirit world. It's like a whole crisis. And Korra's like, sorry, you have to live with it. And then finally, book 4, actual invasion of the Republic City, gets taken out by a fucking mech armed with a doom laser that pretty much nukes the center of the city, reduces it to a crater. All that's left of the city is a crater, destroyed buildings, and the still there spirit forest. And somehow Korra did the right thing. They should have never let her leave the South Pole. I just can't even imagine how they would like ever dare continue the Avatar series from Korra on and like still have people hail her as like a good Avatar in lore. Should fucking do anything.
Apparently they're working on something.
Yep, because thinking about it, she never actually defeated Amon.
She never defeated anyone on her fucking own.
Yep, she never actually defeated Amon. She just like fucking, you know, showed off that he was a liar. He actually gets killed by his fucking brother, so that doesn't count. She didn't, I mean, I can only vaguely remember how the actual battle with the Dark Avatar goes, so I can't even like say anything. I'm just gonna assume she didn't do it on her own. Book 3, she straight up lost to the Red Lotus. Her friends had to help her. And then in book 4, she lost to Kuvira like twice, and her friends had to take down the fucking mech. Like, holy shit. Yo, bad that is? I still get over that she lost a fair one-on-one of Kavira as the Avatar, and she was in the Avatar state. Like, you just don't do that unless there's people on the inside who, like, saw that, like, Korra was a shit show and they decided to, like, sabotage it from within.
You know, why did Amon even waterbend to get out of that, like, he falls into the bay outside of the city and then makes a giant water cyclone to, like, get above the surface. Like, why did he do that?
As if, like, he didn't know how to swim and he was, like, about to drown.
Yeah.
You know, like, this guy...
Or why didn't he just waterbend to, like, get him closer to the surface while he was still under where no one could see him?
Because then he wouldn't have revealed that he was a waterbender, Korra.
Yeah.
That would have, like, alleviated so many problems.
Spent, like, 20 years hiding the fact that he was a fucking waterbender.
But then he just reflexively water tornadoes. I mean, yeah, it still would have, like, washed away his stupid fucking, like, makeup. But at least they wouldn't be able to have, like, pegged him for being a bender. They like that. I mean, it's still funny that he dies getting blown up in a fucking basically a murder-suicide.
Yeah.
That was still, like, a little out of pocket. I'll give him that.
Ignites the fucking gasoline in the boat.
Yeah, like one of the only real recognizable moments of the series. Murders suicide of his own brother. Yeah, book 2 is definitely, I would say, just like from a plot standpoint, objectively the fucking worst. With book 3 and 4 trailing in like second and third place. Book 1 was the only one that had any heart in it. And even that like went away real quick. Book 2 was the worst thing ever made. Book 3 was bad. Book 4 was like shit. God. And yeah, now with all these talks like making new Avatar shows, it's like, oh, it's gonna be the gang when they're like the gang when they're adults. It's like, okay.
Is
so
that something that they're doing?
Supposedly.
So I know that they're also making like a continuation for like the next Avatar after Korra.
Yeah, and
they're making a
I'm fucking terrified
show,
for that.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Like a Kyoshi thing.
Yeah, because the Kyoshi books are such a runaway hit. They just, need to fucking do that. It's like you wouldn't even know that they made a Kyoshi or a Yang Chen book. Like, I'm someone who fucking loves Avatar, and I never even heard about it up until, like, a couple months ago.
They made a Yang Chen book?
Yeah.
Why? What could possibly have happened in her life other than her sitting in a fucking monastery doing nothing?
Well,
like every other airbender in history.
I don't know, but that's what the book tried to talk about.
They should have made a book about the go with the flow kind of Avatar.
Correct. Well, he's mentioned in that because he was the one that came. Was he before or after Yang Chen? Ah, shit. Fucking Korra. Oh man, which one did I come before?
He would have been after, because water comes after air.
I broke the cycle.
That was a real break the cycle kind of Avatar.
Okay, yeah, he succeeded Yang Chen. Damn. Nothing really happened in my life, so my wife got killed.
And I apparently tried to kill, Ko.
It failed.
But didn't get my face stolen. I tried to kill his spirit with weapons somehow.
I mean, I guess if you're in the spirit world, like fucking everything in the game, it's kind of like how Danny Phantom, you can only like attack like another ghost who's invisible if you're invisible too.
How did I bring weapons into the spirit world?
I mean, if you can bring your clothes, why not? I mean, it's not like you can
We
bend.
don't see anyone else do that.
Those are pussies. Yeah, it's like humans just aren't allowed to bend in the spirit world. They need that like something to survive. It's like a dangerous fucking place. I mean, what's his name? The fucking panda. Heibai. If he's allowed to use a stupid like plasma beam in the spirit world. I think Kirk deserves to have his spear with him.
Not to mention, doesn't Ko say it happened like several thousand years before?
I don't think he said 1,000 years. He just said, like, you tried to kill me in a previous life. Ko is, quite the real one for, like, sticking to his stupid, like, arbitrary rules, yeah. Like, sure,
but it still doesn't make sense, because Aang makes a face in his thing, so does he have to see someone?
I think that would imply he has to see it. And, he didn't try to say, like, you definitely did a motion back there. He didn't try to fucking, like, shake him out. He tried to, like, shake down Aang for having lost. Gave it to him. He's willing to give you any of the information you want, just as long as you don't get afraid of him. But, it makes you think, like, obviously he has to work off of, like, the fear element, because he's a giant fucking horrifying, like, insect that can change faces. But, there's other emotions besides fear. He could have, like, really thrown Aang off his game by, like, tickling him or something. Aang starts laughing, and his face is immediately, like, ripped off. Into that show. Maybe they could finally air, like, that one deleted scene where, like, Gurupati dives off the cliff and dies.
This is really stupid on Ko's, like, this is Villains Wiki. It has, like, his list of goals here. Goals. Punish Avatar Kuruk. Succeeded. Steal Aang's face as revenge. Failed. And meeting the next Avatar. And that one doesn't have anything after it, so I guess he's still waiting on that.
It's like he's got anything better to do than sit in his cave all day. That must just suck. Imagine being like a stupid monkey that like crawled in there, getting your face stolen. Just because like you emoted as a fucking like baboon.
Where did he get like that blue spirit face from?
I don't know. I can't even imagine what that was supposed to be. I mean, I guess like other spirits are capable of like emoting and getting their faces stolen too. I want to know how he got those like other human faces. Like how often?
I want to know how he got like Kuruk's girl, like wife's face. Like was she going into the spirit realm?
Oh no.
How did he do that?
I'm sure there's an explanation.
Did he come to the physical realm?
Like, I'm sure they've, like, written down a stupid in-lore reason, like, how it happened by now. I'm sure if, like, the show was still being written by people that gave a shit, it would probably make the most sense if, like, Ko appeared in the human world, like, during the solstice, and then he just, like, preyed on people. But I'm sure they have some convoluted, like, excuse to, like, she entered the spirit world, like, get groceries or something, and, like, accidentally walked into the wrong fucking cave.
Yeah, so Ko stated that he stole Umi's face, that's Kuruk's wife's face, nearly 800 or 900 years ago. When in actuality, Avatar Kuruk only lived about 400 years before.
I mean, maybe she was just, like, way older than he let on, and, like, you know, she was, like, she had, like, a fake face placed on her. As it explained, like, how they, like, even, like, how she even met Ko. Or they just leave that up to interpretation.
I think they just leave it up to interpretation.
I prefer the solstice theory. It's the one that would make sense. It's not he exactly, like leaves his stupid cave. Fucking three dog.
The two were married at the Spirit Oasis in the Northern Water Tribe. However, as she crossed the bridge, she was pulled by an unseen force deep into the water. Kuruk jumped in after her, but could not rescue her in time. Ko, a spirit, had lured and trapped her forever to punish Kuruk for his arrogance.
What did he do to Ko?
I guess he was a go with the flow kind of avatar, apparently.
Yeah, it's like he was like flipping him the bird, like on the other side of the fucking spirit pond. I wouldn't have thought his Ko to be the type to just like take vigilante justice into his own hands like that.
If he can like cross over into the real world, why didn't he like pull Aang into the spirit world at like any moment, and then just like take his face?
I don't know. I guess it's because he already got his revenge against Kuruk. He doesn't really have a gripe against Aang. Like Aang didn't do anything wrong. And I think they even mentioned that it's just like that's in the past when he talks to him. Fucking like the sins of his predecessor. He's not gonna get him for something that was like 400 years old. He already has his wife's face. Although it would have been hysterical if, like, while he's talking to Ko just like starts cycling through like Katara and Sokka. Would have been so over. Man, so let's see. I wonder. You know, maybe we should get like a prediction now. What do you think is going to be the main problem that like the next Avatar is going to have to face? Well, let's just assume, and this is giving them way too much credit. Let's assume that they're actually going to get a full like multi-book thing planned out, and they're not going to do like a villain of the month fucking deal with like every book for Korra. What do you think they're going to try to even come up with?
Some stupid bullshit. Like, I don't even care what they come up with at this point.
But how stupid
I'm
could it
fine
get?
with just rewatching The Last Airbender. I like really don't care about anything after.
But let's think about it real quick. Who are the most worthless people in Avatar? Who would it be? And I think I have one idea already. If you
I have
don't.
several.
Okay.
There's so many useless fucking people in Avatar.
Let's think of like a useless like group of people.
There's like the two tribes from the Great Divide.
Useless
like, they're
people.
completely useless. There's the nomads from the Secret Tunnel episode.
Yeah, that's, like,
they're
way too
completely
funny.
useless.
Oh yeah, man, we're real useless.
Yeah, we're real useless. I was thinking of that fucking group of people who just like the storyteller people who like told Aang about the Airwalkers that brought him to the Northern Air Temple. Remember that?
Oh,
yeah.
like the campfire people?
Yeah, those people.
What are you talking about? I saw him yesterday.
What are you talking about? Grandpappy saw Monkey Atso the other day.
It's true.
Just sitting next to him. Fucking
Yeah, man, I saw him the other day.
I would be very impressed if they brought like the fucking Ganjins and the Zhangs back. That'd be very stupid. Who's like even more worthless than all of that? I feel like there's someone like I could probably think of if I thought about it. Useless group of people.
What about like the circus runners from Appa's Lost Days?
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure like one of them's probably in a coma. The other's dead.
What about what about like the kid and his dad or whoever that guy was?
It wasn't his dad. Just some creep.
I'm gonna go get some fire flakes.
You go jack off in the fucking public bathroom. You sit here and stay away from that monster.
I'm gonna go get some head in the truck stop bathroom. You sit here and stay away from that monster.
I'm gonna go and play with that monster. Go buy me some fucking Sizzle crisps. I'm gonna feed you to that monster. Come here. Tosses him in the cage. Appa eats him with no hesitation. Yeah, you know, if you recall, the one circus leader got hit on the head with a metal ring at like Mach 10, and the other one got launched out of the fucking circus. Like several hundred feet. Although granted, if Long Fang was able to survive that, like being skipped on the water like 500 feet, maybe that guy could have like landed on a fucking like Assassin's Creed hay bale or something. And he comes back. He's like the punished fucking like ringleader. Old as shit. He's like well over 200 years old, and now he's the fucking main villain. What's even
Got like
want?
a personal gripe against the Airbenders, I guess.
So he perpetuates another air genocide.
Yeah.
Honestly, that would almost be like too inspired if they just did it again. And like this time they actually got them for real. Like that would actually be like something so stupid I'd consider it like a unique idea.
Think he actually pulls it off?
Yeah. Like he had such a gripe against against Sky Bison that he successfully genocides all the air nomads. And there's only like by this point maybe like 200 of them if he's lucky.
It's the ringleader and the one fucking like Sizzle Crisp dude. He's only there because he's mad that like his ticket got wasted.
So fucking dumb. And you know, I want to know where that circus was, because it had to have been like a little bit of a distance away from the desert, but it was also in an area that was like under Fire Nation control. But from like maps that I've seen that kind of like try to point out where the Fire Nation were by like nearing the end of the war, I don't think they should have been anywhere like in that area. So I want to know where the fuck that circus was. But I guess not that it matters, because the fucking Sizzle Crisp guy is like steals the show. This fucking dickhead. With this kid, it's not his. It's like the funniest thing. It's like, is he like a dickhead uncle? Is he just like some like abductor that fucking goes after little kids?
It's just like some random guy.
He's some random. He's a textbook child abductor. I only go after little boys. The Avatar shows up, we'll take his fucking bending away.
I'm gonna go cum shark a random woman outside.
Gonna come shark that monster. Stand here and watch me, and watch, you know, I want you to watch out for those fucking ringleaders. You know, what are the odds that kid not only looked like Aang, but had his exact voice too? And laughed like him too. I think if Appa just like dove into the audience and started like fucking rampaging, would have been way better. Get back here, you stupid monster! And he's like chasing the fucking like the Sizzle Crisp guy.
Go on, fly.
You can do it. He gets on top of Appa. Yip yip. Leaves the kid. And then like it just, and then like it does like that little cut where it shows like it's been a day flying, and this little guy is just dead on the back of Appa. Appa flew too high and he ran out of oxygen. Actually, maybe it would be funnier if like he made it all the way to that place where the Kyoshi warriors were, and then like he's the one that has to fight like the porcupine.
Was that before or after Guru Patik?
Oh god, I think that was before. Because like the Kyoshi warriors take off his chains, then he leaves and he goes to the Eastern Air Temple.
Oh, yeah. So they land there. They're like in front of that mine, and then the fucking giant boar comes out and like gores the Sizzle Crisp guy.
Do you think he was a firebender?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's like
We don't see
funny.
any firebenders there except for the dude with the flame whip.
I mean, we don't know if anyone there's a firebender. He could have been. But it's always, I guess, more funny to assume he's just a fucking completely helpless non-bender. You're...
What would be Suki's reaction when she just sees like some middle-aged Fire Nation dude like riding Appa?
I think that all depends on how patriotic this guy is towards the war effort. Like, is he a complete devout, like, fucking Ozai supporter? When he start attacking the Yoshi...
Ozai.
Yeah, when he start attacking the Yoshi warriors... Get back! He starts doing the flame whip. Or even better, like, he tames the porcupine. Like, gets on its back, like, yip, yip, and they just, like, take off. Or even more retarded. It cuts to the part where, like, it's the morning after, and, like, the Kyoshi warriors are picking berries because, like, you know, they're stupid women. And then they, like, find, like, Sizzle crisps on the ground. And, you know, Tsuki's like, no, it can't be. She looks up, sees the middle-aged guy, and, like, Appa behind him, and she goes, oh, no. Like, approach him, he gets up, he starts growling and snarling at her. It's okay, Sizzle crisp guy. We're here to help.
I'll come back. She comes back with like more Sizzle crisps for him.
He's aggressive around people and hates children. Like, stay low and follow my lead. And like, what does it cut to them, like, just like giving him a bath? Big fat
What's gonna happen when fucking when
Zula
shows up?
I don't know.
He's just gonna like turncoat on the Kyoshi warriors.
You know, he probably would. He's definitely the kind that would. I mean, he had no loyalty to his own fucking son, so... Or, implied son. I'm surprised we've never brought this guy up on any of, like, our hypothetical, like, B-team Avatar squads before.
Yeah.
He definitely deserves a role.
It's usually too busy being fucking overrun by shit sang.
Yeah, the shit sang is almost like a main character status by our fucking concern.
Yeah.
So if I were to make a new
He really
B
deserves
team,
it.
like, I guess it's not, we need to make like the C team for like Team Avatar. It would definitely be this fucking guy. That like, Sizzle Crisp guy is on here without a doubt. I almost kind of want to include like fucking Gramp, like the storyteller. We saw Monkey Yatso last week.
That means they already like lost the old man slot. So I was gonna recommend the fucking the fishmonger from the Storm episode.
But he's actually in like most of that episode, so he's like more relevant than the rest of them. I'm too young to die. I'm gonna kill you. Throws Sokka off the boat. Aang and Katara fly in and rescue him. Like, where's Sokka? Like, oh, you died in the storm.
A big wave came in and swept him off.
They have no choice but to believe him. They rescue him and Katara's like in tears that her brothers died. Oh man, they would have gotten...
The worst part is like 30 feet away, like Sokka's floating on a log, but like they can't hear him over the rain and thunder.
He's just stranded out there. You think in that scenario, like Zuko and his ship like would have found him?
They find Sokka's waterlogged body. The Avatar's been here recently.
You don't think they'd use his body as like leverage? It's like, you want to see your brother again? It's like, he's alive? Well, like, if you want to see him, hand over the Avatar. And Aang's like, if this means rescuing Sokka, I'll go with them. And they just dump a fucking burlap sack like right in front of Katara. And she opens it up and sees this purple fucking salt-smelling body. Let me go back here. Fucking hit the C team. It doesn't only have to be one old man slot, you know? Like, the whole point of it is to be stupid. I think you could have more old people. But
how about one of the beetle merchants?
Just
one of them. And he doesn't have the beetle with him. And he doesn't have the poison darts either.
He doesn't have the sheer shoot darts. Okay, well, actually, let's think about this real quick. What do we consider Team Avatar? Do you count Suki?
You can count her. I mean, if they can say on the fandom page that shit saying was a temporary member of Team Avatar, I'm pretty sure Suki is a permanent member of Team Avatar.
Okay, so in that case, you'd have a core team of 6 then. If we're including Suki, Sokka, Zuko, and Katara Toph. Not talking about fucking May when she shows up Byro. So we're talking 6 people. So that's definitely fucking Sizzle Crisp guy. Big old Pappy or whatever the hell his name is. I don't even remember. I just know his one voice line. I'm going because he does have a line. Oh man. So that's 2 vague non-benders. I'm assuming the old guy's definitely a non-bender.
Are we trying to get representation from each of the nations here as well?
I mean, we preferably want that.
Alright, for the Earthbender, I'm recommending one of the guards from the tea shop. The guy that goes
easy boy.
The guy that's we saw it all happen, sir. He attacked him.
Those guys had swords. They probably weren't even benders. I was if you want someone to actually represent earthbending that just is worthless, how about one of the door openers to Full Moon Bay, who's in one of those security outfits? Door opener left. That'll be one of them. So great. That's a team already. Only 1 confirmed bender out of 3. How about the guy who got the panda lily for his girlfriend at the fucking fortune teller village?
Who does he get to represent?
I don't know. He fills in the Suki role.
Funny is he's more useful, right? He's less useful than the guy from the start of that episode that's dodging the fucking platypus bear.
I hate you. Oh, I actually have a good one. This will represent the Earthbender. That one rich guy who's just counting his money inside the fucking carriage when Zuko shows up with the blue spirit, cuts open the top and takes it from him. Even though I've already mentioned the Earthbender guys. He's just in there. He's the financial fucking smarts. But he doesn't actually give them any money. He just plays with his own. For useless waterbenders. Oh man.
Trying to think here.
That one would be a little bit tricky.
One of the kids from the healing class.
All the little girls.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a fucking age difference. So great, we're gonna have a 6-year-old girl that could barely waterbend. This is not looking good. How about the feelings guy from the Boiling Rock? You know what I'm talking about? Guy? Yeah, oh, normally I should, but I've been working on trying to get a hold of my anger. And he is a confirmed firebender.
What about the you just don't be afraid to tell her how you feel.
Oh yeah, he actually has a name in the credits. Sensitive Ruffian. I remember that. That'd be great. And you know what the crazy part is that all those guys in that jail had like snake tattoos on them. And I think June had the same tattoo on her arm. Which implies some kind of like underground snake organization. I don't even know what that would be about.
Got caught in Chin Village.
Just tell me how you feel.
How do we not incorporate the Chin, like, mayor?
And fucking Mayor Tong.
He's fucking useless. The second anything happens, he just immediately like runs away.
It's true. It's just I don't think he'd be able to like to join because he's got like, you know, he can't just like leave the town.
He gets voted out of his position.
Yeah, he's replaced with the fucking like the wheel of like a punishment guy.
Oiled in oil.
Eaten by the denizens of Chin Village.
I was about to say that, like, verbatim.
Crazy. It's almost like that's just like one of the funniest go-tos that could be imagined. Eaten whole like a snake by me. Did we name like 6 people?
I think so. I think we named more than 6 people.
Okay. What's gonna be the spirit animal?
Who's even getting this spirit animal here? There's no avatar in this team.
I'm just gonna give the avatar ability to the fucking like the Sizzle Crisp guy. He's like the star of this whole thing, so he gets to be the avatar. Is a spirit animal just gonna be like his kid?
Should be one of those stupid like running lizards that show up in the last episode. It's like an animal that cannot carry this entire team on its back.
You know, but the thing is, like, that was able to carry like 3 people, and it was not strained at all. Granted, sure, they're all like kids, but that was a big fucking animal. I think it'd be able to carry like this team. When I heard running lizard, I almost imagined you're talking about like, that stupid like little running lizard that takes the egg before like Appa could get to it in the desert. Like something completely worthless, but it definitely has to be like a fairly large animal, I'd imagine.
How about like one of the stupid like vulture bees, like vulture hornets from the desert?
That'd be pretty bad, you know, these fucking like social creatures and it's just like going alone. It's the one that Aang killed with like his air blast. they have like dragging around. They think it's alive.
He's just sleeping.
Okay, so if that's the case, what's like the second animal guy, like the smaller one, the Momo stand-in?
It's one of the singing gophers.
I was thinking one of the hermit crabs from the Northern Air Temple. I think that'd be the most useless. Wouldn't do anything. Now that is a sad excuse for a team. How long do you think they'd last?
Like a few. I mean, they're all adults, so they have some like better know-how of like handling money. But
like all these old, like this middle-aged men and this one 6-year-old girl. It's like creepy as shit. Like the hermit crab's gonna get stepped on day 1 on accident. And like within like a couple weeks, this beetle's gonna start to fucking rot. Like this bee. It's gonna start attracting like other creatures, like this rotting corpse they're walking around with. And you know, the Sizzle Crisp avatar, you know, he's gotta like always gotta keep stopping the fucking party. He's like, I will get some more fucking Sizzle Crisp. You'll stay here. Don't run off without me. And then eventually, like, fucking Pappy's like...
he croaks.
He croaks, the little girl tries to heal him, but he just can't heal, like, death. They already lost him.
And Sizzle Crisp's guy comes back and sees his dead body.
Oh my god.
His eyes light up. They have to like calm him down.
Who's he gonna like direct the anger at?
Do you think anyone in that team could calm him down?
I don't know. Like maybe like the money guy could like throw a gold piece at him.
Like knock him out.
I was thinking that. Maybe like he swings the chest full of gold and throws it at his head. Throws it at the back of his head. And once it collides with the back of Sizzle Crisp's head, he has like that like flash moment, like when Aang gets hit, like the whole Avatar state flashes, and like they all disappear. Oh my god, I was gone, but you brought me back.
See, I just used my fucking gold box.
You saved me. You know, I kind of still want like Jin Fu and fucking whatever his name is to be here. What's the other guy's fucking name?
You talking about the
Yes.
bounty hunter and the earthbending master?
Yes, what was the name of that earthbending master? Jin Fu is the name of the fucking like Earth Rumble 6 guy. Oh man, we should know better. What is that guy's name? Ugh. No one fucking... Ah, shit. What is his name?
I want to go jerk off in the bathroom.
What is his name? Oh man, good thing I got fucking like Avatar Wiki on standby. Alright, Shinfu. Oh fuck. Ally? Why is Fire Nation Man specifically in his allies and no one else? What kind of sense does that make? Master Yu. Okay.
Yeah, we should remember that because fucking Master Hugh and the Drunkard Who.
Oh man, my current's filling with doo-doo.
Oh, I'm gonna drown in your shit in here, aren't I?
Oh, it's running down my leg. I just popped a blood vessel with both my eyes.
That's when Jinfu just starts like head banging backwards and like knocking the fuck out of Master Yu. Just dies. And you're like, both these guys should be like pretty good at earth bending, and we've seen that you don't necessarily have to be in contact with the earth to bend it. You don't think the two of them combined could have like earth bent the fucking cage away? Like, you know, like how many earthbending masters equals one Boomy?
I don't know, but we've only ever seen Boomy bend without like using his arms and legs.
That's true. He's also one of the few earthbenders that could do it without even being close to Earth. He was able to just bring Earth to him with just his face. I think these two guys should be able to figure out something. And not just, like, let fucking Master Yu shit himself until they both die from, like, fucking exposure in the fucking metal cage. So I don't care what they do, because I know they've tried to retroactively make it so that they escaped the fucking cage at some point. But I refuse that. There's no way those two didn't die.
I'm going to shit my pants.
Oh man, I am tweaking. Stop moving so much. I got a boner.
You're going to come on my leg, aren't you?
Oh, you're a naughty boy.
I'm going to fucking kill you.
I'm hard again.
You think they would... How long do they have to make it? Like 3 days?
of no water.
I'd love to see them progress into madness as the realization they're gonna die
keeps
kicks
like
in.
dry humping Jinfu's leg.
Fucking dog. Pressed up against his ass, he's dry humping him. What does Jinfu do? Would he start just like angrily shitting to try to like make it worse? Because eventually he's gonna have to shit onto Master Yu's like waist.
Oh, your hot turds are pressed up against my cock. I've been in here so long, my clothes are starting to rot.
Really? That's the only explanation. Guys, yeah, they better make an appearance in the next Avatar. Or you find like their fucking skeleton in a cage. Maybe they'll make an appearance like in the spirit
In a
world.
cage like halfway filled with shit, piss, and cum.
This cage is like buried halfway, and they finally open it up. It's like full of petrified like turds.
It's like Cropolite.
With two skeletons embedded into it. It's like, wow, I wonder what happened here. Yeah, let's keep flying. I bet they're still gonna find a way for the new Avatar to like give him a fucking sky bison. That's my prediction. That's my honest to God prediction. They're gonna give him a fucking sky bison. Because they just can't help themselves. They knew how much the fucking polar bear dogs sucked.
Yeah.
And they know there's like, you just
Don't
can't.
they have bison now?
Yeah, they do. So that they have like no
New
excuse.
Bison
Yes.
that lived in caves somehow.
Yes.
Even though bisons hate caves in that show.
Yeah, forgot about that. Oh, that was actually an Appa specific thing.
Bullshit. The
Remember?
bisons like fly around. It makes sense that they don't want to go underground.
No, it was an Appa thing. They're hiding in caves. So kind of a, you think like the Fire Nation went after the fucking lemurs too?
Apparently.
Yeah, it's crazy how like Momo is the last of his like lemur subspecies, but apparently they have that whole other like gray species in like record numbers too. Fire Nation just wanted to take out the fucking Momos.
I'm entering the Avatar state.
I think the thought of Master Yu dry humping Jinfu's ass like in a cage is like, that's almost more dumb than like the fucking Sizzle Crisp guy. He really knows how to make the most out of a sour situation. You're gonna hump my ass for the rest of my life, aren't you?
I'm going to come again.
He's a fucking monster. Every 30 seconds.
Oh, you're such a naughty boy.
Or that old guy like moaning is like, it's fucking like he just doesn't sleep.
Jinfu cannot like get an ounce of
Can't
sleep.
get a wink. This freak is here. Doesn't matter.
I really need to fast on that.
Very sneaky tough, but you can't fool me.
Like he puts the key in his mouth, like, oh. What the fuck is wrong with you? We need that.
You can dig it out of my turds later.
There's a giant hole in the box. How is that a trick? Like Toph like already left. She didn't even like stay around like trap him.
Like, well, might as well take a look inside the box. Maybe that'll give us a hint on how she escaped.
All right, fine. Completely close it with metal bending.
Wait, who
Master you. What have you done?
Oh no! It looks like we're both stuck in here.
Oh,
Oh man. He would kill himself just to get this one up on him. It's like slamming on the metal wall. It's like, he's
oh.
so fucked up. It's just what we needed to end this off, isn't it?
And then like a sexual assault to really close out the bender.
To tie it all together. Now, that was an honest to God bender right there. That took the old tired fucking trapped in the box thing to a new height. Really just sank Master Yu a little further down. It's like one thing that like he gets in there, just immediately unloads diarrhea. It's another, he's like actively just waiting for this moment.
The first one we came up with was just like after he gets like pushed in there by Top. But the second one, he's just a fucking freak.
He could have been all along.
Oh, very sneaky tough. Time to firebend your cage to 200 degrees. And now for you, Jinfu.
It's alright. She's wanted dead or alive.
uh.
Alright, I gotta stop. Let's end this here.